Okay, good morning all. Today I'm going to go over a few things that I'm getting a little bit of feedback and, obviously talking to some people about the sheets. And one of the things I want to go over is why certain tracks I don't bet on and why certain tracks I'll stay clear of. And I'll go over the Mornington sheet yesterday and a couple of other sheets yesterday that we were, as I'll use them as examples, all right? But one of the things, and it's a genuine, I listen to everyone's complaints or any feedback, positive, negative. Matter of fact, I like the negative feedbacks before I like the positive feedbacks, because negative feedbacks is what makes the sheets get better. Now, one of the things that I will go over quickly is this perception that I'm constantly saying sheets are poor. All right, I think it's just more my wording that it's probably confusing a lot of people. I speak in a language where I know what I mean, but other people don't know what I mean. So, and when I say the word that this is a really, really poor meeting, okay, what I'm trying to say is the quality of runners are really poor, like exceptionally poor. And because I look at numbers, and when you're looking at numbers, you've got to scale down all these runners. So you've got a ratings numbers on each runner. Now, in to make it simplify for everybody, all right, I'm looking at horses basically out of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest. Each race, I'm looking at 1.5, 2-star rated horses out of 10. So when you're looking at those type of fields, on top of the fact that you're trying to put them onto a sheet, and you're trying to stay clear of being aligned with the corporate bookmakers, that's what makes the meeting poor. That's all that means to me. Now, I need to explain that so people don't get confused that I'm telling you not to bet. Now, I rate tracks, all right? If you're new to this service, what I don't rate horses, I rate tracks. Now, when you're rating a track, and you need to rate the track, so you need to see what those horses' capabilities are doing. When you're seeing so many poorly rated runners, all right, on these tracks that are not traditionally good to us, it's very, very difficult. All right, so it's exceptionally difficult because Mornington itself, it hasn't been a great hunting ground for me over the last, say, 12 months, even 18 months. So, all I can do is just try to be as honest as I can and try to give you a sense that this is not going to be a great meeting, all right? And we just need to go race by race and go carefully. All right. Now, if you followed the rules yesterday and just gone race by race, it was a very profitable day. Now, if I'm confusing you by saying this is a poor meeting, I mean the horses are really exceptionally poor. All right. In 2020, and it's going to only get worse, horses are not getting better. Trust me, they're not getting better. They're actually getting worse. What's getting better are the tracks, which is enabling these horses to basically, it's flattering these horses. It's making these horses feel like they're running great times and all that when they're actually not. It's the actual track. Because when these poorly rated runners get put onto decent tracks, they don't do anything anyway. So today's talk is not about more why I just want everybody to understand my wording and what I actually mean. All right, and when I send out multiple sheets like I did yesterday, what I wanted everybody to understand is that, I'm always in the background doing work. When I do these sheets, I go and do these sheets, and like I've done Friday sheets yesterday, and when I did Wednesday sheets, I probably would have started them on Monday. So when I say that I'm not going to navigate, but I'll be monitoring in the background, all right, I am always monitoring every race meeting, race by race. And I see what's going on. I've got 4 screens going. I've got the screen, my betting screen, my own personal betting screens. Okay, and then I've also got the sheets that I'm currently working on, and then the other 2 screens I've got video replays, clocking horses, etc., etc. So I'm always in the background watching what's going on, and I'm always watching pretty much every race that goes. And then that's when sometimes you'll see me step in and make a call about let's abort a meeting. And that's why yesterday, Wyong was a classic case of that. I did not like the meeting. That track is the worst track in Australia for us, as in Provincial New South Wales. it's a favourites hunting ground, and you saw what happened. Just about every favourite won there. So I isolated. I think I didn't have one bet there. I don't think there was one bet there anyway. None of the bets qualified, and then by race 3, 4, I'd had enough, and I said, "That's it. See you later. Game over. Let's shut it down." Now, what happened at Mornington yesterday? It was a bit of it wasn't a surprise, because I mean I'm pretty good with the numbers. I was surprised that we won. Some of these runners that I thought are going to be difficult to get up are going to the win. So we had a great day there. Now, if you were putting 2 minds, don't be putting. What that's telling me is that you're still betting scared. Now, I never aborted that meeting. I never passed them. Well, there was a mistake pass on race 7. All right, and just on that, I just want everybody to know that I've got 4 screens going. Now, the meeting that I did abort was South Australia. We didn't do any damage there. I think we were 2 from 4, whatever it was, and I didn't like the last 2 races. So what happened is I aborted South Australia. I had another screen put up, and I had the South Australian sheet put up, and I aborted that meeting. And then when I put up the Mornington sheet was just there for me to look at the betting and look at my numbers. And inexplicably, I sent pass. But the problem with that was I sent pass with a minute to go. So if you missed that bet, I find it a little bit odd that it was missed, because everybody should have been bet by the time I sent that pass. It was sent so late that you wouldn't have been sitting there waiting for me to pass. So, which is telling me that you're probably betting scared and you're not sure. But that's my fault. I'm not. This is not by no means having a go at anyone out there. It's basically saying that you're in 2 minds because you think that I'm being exceptionally negative on the actual meeting. I'm being negative on the horses, on the actual horses. I never said, once I saw that the sheets were winning at Mornington. Now the guys that have been with me for a while, they know when a sheet is on, a sheet is really on. And it's up to you to monitor that. I can't monitor 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we sent out Wyong, we sent out Strathalbyn, we sent out Mornington, we sent out Ascot. Now, out of all the 4 sheets, the Mornington sheet was by far the best sheet out of all of them. So then I said, right, we're not going to get any more money out of Wyong, abort. We're not going to get any much more money out of Strathalbyn, abort. We certainly weren't going to get anything out of Ascot. I didn't even have one bet at Ascot, abort. Okay? And that's what I do. That's what the multiple sheets are there for. It's to dip your toes in. Which sheet is going to do well today? So we stuck to Mornington. Now, I'll just quickly go over the Mornington, and I want everybody to see if everybody's on my same page, what they should have done yesterday with this meeting. So then I know if you're betting scared or you're betting unsure. Now, there's a big difference. If you're betting scared, I can't stop you. You're just getting scared. Betting unsure, I need to fix that. I need to make sure that you're not unsure. Now, if you'd followed the rules yesterday, race 1 should have been a bet. Okay? There was 360, 370. There was a 128% pot. Okay, the 4, the 5, the 6 all got matched. It was a betting race. Okay, now race 2, unknown runners. Forget about it. We don't. Just not even talk about it. We all know what to do when there's an unknown runner in the race. All right, race 3, again, unknown runner. We got the winner. Big deal. We move on. Okay, race 4. All right, we had race 4. It was a betting race. Okay, we backed the 2. All right, actually the 2 should have been dropped, because I'll tell you what happened with the 2 yesterday, because I dropped it. It never hit. It hit $3 right at the death. Now, if you drop that runner to $3 or even $2.80, pot's 54%. Get rid of that runner. End of discussion. Get rid of it. Now, what happened there? What I did in this particular race, we couldn't add the 7, so I actually spread the units. I did. I had whatever I had on that the units on number 1.56. I spread it on all the other runners. That's what I did yesterday, because I couldn't get price on the 2. Or if you didn't want to, because it was a runner that was in the market, you could have just backed those other runners, but we obviously couldn't have the 7. All right, so that was the play for that race. Unfortunately, if number 7 never hit price. Now, I did get a query yesterday about this. All right, there's a few guys that are not understanding the sub runner. If number 2 never got price and number 7 never got price, 7's the sub runner. The sub runner, you do not drop a race because the sub runner never got price. You never do that. The sub runner's only there, again, to include, let's just say number 1 never got price. Number 2 never got price. Let's say number 7 did get price. Well, then automatically that gets included. But if you drop the race because the 1 and the 7 never got price, the 7 should never come into the equation when you're dropping a runner. It actually should be included into the race. But because the 7 never got price, then bad luck. Only one runner never got minimum rated price, which was a 2. So it was a betting race. You know, you don't want to really include the sub runner. The sub runner is an emergency runner that needs to be included in case one of our runners doesn't hit price. And you know, I rated the 7 at $5.37. The best I got it was $3. So it was never going to be included. Okay, so we quickly go to race 5. All right, now this was a right royal fill up. All right, because what happened here, number 2, okay, was well under minimum rated price, so it was dropped. Then we used the 0.94 units, okay, and I spread them over the 3 and the 8. Now what happened? Number 4 never got price, so automatically that was a massive fill up race. Because what you should have done then, you should have had 1.17 units on the 3 and 1.26 units on the 8. That was the play for that race right there. Because again, we had to drop the 2. See, and now it worked in our advantage. The last race, all right, the exact same scenario happened in the last race. Now we bet, all right, because one of our runners never got matched and the 7 didn't come in. Now let's just say number 2 never got matched, which it didn't, and number 4 did get matched. Well, all of a sudden the 4 gets elevated, and we're back in the 3, the 4, and the 8. But that wasn't the case yesterday because obviously the 4 didn't even come remotely near our price. So we only had 2 runners yesterday, and we had, as I said, 1.17 units on a runner that we had rated at $7.10, and look what it paid. End up paying like $10 best SP. $12. But $9. I only claimed the $9. So that was a big fill up. Now you could see here, this thing hit $10. I mean, 10. I ignored what it paid, but it did hit $11 with some corps. So basically, it was $9.50. There's $11 with Bet365 with basically a couple of minutes to go. So you know, if you chopped around, you could have got $11 for that runner. There's sports betting. There's $11.20 with 3-4 minutes to go. You know, I've got a lot of corporate bookmakers in here. Sometimes I remove some and add some to my desktop. But yeah, you could see here that this thing did hit, and it was a great fill up. Best bookies here, you know, $11. So it was a big fill up. You know, when you got 1.17 units on a horse rated at that price, it was a massive fill up. So that was the play for that race. Now race 6. This was another big fill up, okay? Because what happened with this particular race, I only had 2 picks. Now, the pot was 58%. It was right on the cusp. So you could not take any runner below minimum rated price. You just couldn't take it. If you'd taken $3, I mean, look at the 3, all right? 320, you taken 320, the pot was like 49%. So guess what I did? I dropped the 3 and I loaded all the units onto the 1. That's following the rules. You didn't have to do anything. And this is what I'm saying. You know, if you didn't do that, that means you're betting scared. That means you're not sure. Now, I never said anything about not betting in this race. It was a betting race. So we've had 2 massive fill-ups there in 2 races had you just followed the rules. And I've given talks about this. When I'm not navigating, all right, just follow the rules, all right? If you're not following the rules, you're betting scared. Now, I'm not being a smart aleck here. I understand that it's hard. I understand that it's hard when you've got two runners and you're not sure, but this is the rules. I've put in these. I've done this for 5 years. I've followed this pattern for 5 years. Now, if you were confused because you thought it was a automatic abort meeting, I never said anything about aborting the meeting. I just said it was a poor meeting. There's a difference. Okay? I said, had you listened to my text messages, I said, if I see something in this meeting that I don't like, I'll send out an alert. I never sent out an alert. I didn't say anything. It means that the sheet was travelling fine, and hang on, it's doing way better than I thought. You beauty, let's keep rocking and rolling it. Let's keep betting. That was the play for race 6. Now race 7, race 7 again for the new guys. I do a lot of I have not a lot of mistakes. I've got a lot going on, like so much going on here. Now, that was a pure mistake because, as I said, it was just happened to be when I was aboard in South Australia and I had this sheet up, all right? And I wasn't concentrating. Again, guys, if I showed you what's going on in here in my office, you'll understand. But you don't. You're hearing me say this, but you know I don't make excuses. I never claimed the race. It's not up on the results page, all right? But the actual text was sent so late. It should have been ignored. If a text is sent like 30 seconds or a minute out from jump, automatically in future just think it's a mistake. I do it occasionally. It happens sometimes. It's a mistake. Unless I send out a pass and then I'll explain why I passed, all right? Especially when it's really late, because 9 times out of 10, I will send a pass and say, boys, pass. Then I'll do a follow-up text and say, this is the reason why I've passed. But because it was sent so late, there was no point sending out a text. I sent the text straight after the message to say, sorry guys, but that was a mistake, and I explained why it was a mistake, okay, and it happens. You know, I should take a photo of what I look at all the time so that people understand, you know, what's going on here all the time. There's a lot that goes on. Now, I'm not making any excuses. If you passed on that race, I am so sorry, all right? But I know a lot of people would have bet. They should have been betting because it was the message was sent. But probably the biggest reason why it was a pass for a lot of guys, because again, my fault, hands up, no problem. The confusing aspect of when I keep saying that a meeting is poor, I get it, all right, and I apologize for that. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to change my language. I'll try to explain, and this is what I'm trying to do with today's video. I'm trying to explain why I keep saying that, all right? Because when you're looking at numbers like I do, and it's constantly so poor and really bad, you write what you're thinking, okay? I mean, when we're all guilty of that, we write what we think, or sometimes we say what we think, not realizing that other people are out there, you know, probably getting confused on what you're trying to say, and that's what I'm trying to say. Now, again, hands up. I'm always the one to always put my hands up and say, mate, I made a boo-boo here. I made a mistake. That was a mistake. That was a pure mistake. Because let me tell you, okay, I think maybe 90% of you should have bet on that race. If you didn't, I'm so sorry. I really am. Okay, I just need to be more. I need to just concentrate more because again, I've got so much things happening that I do a mistake. So we all saw what happened. It was a monster fill-up, like, you know, because number 6 was well under minimum rated price. Well, look. When I say minimum rate of price, okay, personally, I took the 6. The reason why I took the 6 because I got $6. Now the emergency didn't come in, all right, and then we had the 9, all right, that was well over price, and the 10. Now, when you say why I took the 6 and it's $5, it was $5 exceptionally late, but it was $6 all the way across, all right, all the way across. It was $6. Now, you know, again, you know, you've got a pot of 88%, you could have gone down to 550. A matter of fact, now my memories keep, I did take 550 for it because the pot, once I took 550, it only brought down the pot down to 82%. And that's fine because every other runner was so well over our price that I could have afforded, I could have even taken $5. I wouldn't have taken $5 because I don't like dropping horses $1.33, you know. The least I would have taken for that was $5.50, and that's what I took. All right, so that was a big fill up, my mistake. Again, in future, I need to be more careful with it. But again, I think because the text was sent so late, I think 90% of people should have backed that runner. All right, and if you didn't, that's my fault, and I apologise for that. And then obviously the last race was the last race. It's the hardest race on the card. All right, and you know we got the winner, but we couldn't get its price, because what happened in this instance is the 3 was $3.23. The second horse was Brazen Song. Now it let out. Now, the end of the day, this system is. Now, I didn't expect. Now, when I did the numbers, all right, to be honest, I did the numbers. I had that rating as on a soft 5. Now, it's gone from a soft 5 with the ratings. The track's been upgraded to a good 3. All right, and it actually was a good 3, because when I've done the review on the meeting last night, and I've given the track the highest possible rating I can give it. All right, please, if anyone has any questions, guys, I'm here to make you sure that everybody wins money. I'm not here to belittle anyone. I'm not here to talk down to anyone. All right, I'm on your page, and if you're confused and if you're not getting the system, please let me know. I honestly, if you knew me personally, you'll know how passionate I am. I don't want anyone losing money on my watch. I don't sleep well at night knowing that. So, you know, when I have negative complaints, I take them so seriously. Unlike other tipping agencies, you know, Winning Edge is the best. They really are, because they forward on the positive messages and the negative messages. Again, I take more time out for the negative messages, because that's how I get the system, you know, doing better than what it should be doing. Because the negative messages to me is, righto king, pull your finger out. People are not happy. People are not winning money. And I want you all to win money. That's my main focus in all of this. All right? All right. So thanks, guys.